Grade primary is a lot of play-based learning. We're moving more towards student-led, so less teacher direction and more student-led, open-ended tasks, taking outcomes and making them fun and really encouraging play. So when they arrive in the morning, I greet them at the door, and they usually have a message bag or some kind of communication folder. And they come in and they usually have a little routine that they do in the morning to get settled into the day. What I do every morning is I put an emphasis on writing, so we start every morning with writing workshop where I do a little teacher-directed mini lesson where I show them some skills, and we progress throughout the year. We start with just drawing and how we can get our ideas out through pictures. We progress to labeling those pictures and to writing sentences. And then the children have a chance to think of something they want to write about, or if they want to add to a piece they've already started. And then they have a chance to turn and talk. So there's a lot of oral language, a lot of discussion about what they're going to write about, to give them the strategies to use the word wall, look for little words and big words. Oh, and don't forget the vowels. That's always another important one, because that's what we work towards, is remembering to use all parts of the word.
If you finish a piece today, or if you finish a book, what can you do? Get somebody to revise it. Yeah, we can revise it. We can get the question cards and help each other as partners.
I let them work on the floor in small, large groups or individual, and they collaborate, and then they move in and out of groups as they need it. And then we come back together, and that's the time for them to read their work to the class and show the pictures and to get some feedback about it.
First, next, and last, beginning, middle, and end. That's excellent.
When children start school, they're all at different levels, and that's what we expect. My job is to facilitate their learning, and I sit and talk to them, and I see where they're at, and I sort of move them to the next level through praise and questioning and things like that. But most learning comes from each other. So a lot of learning can be done through play. Primary for me has been about taking all the outcomes and making them play-based, figuring out ways to take something like partitioning to 10. And so they need to know how numbers look divided up into two parts. So we have done bowling. So we bowl as one of our learning zones, and they write on the board. If they've knocked 2 pins down, then they have 8 standing. So they're looking at 2 and 8 is 10, because they know they have 10 pins. You can change the number of pins. But it's as simple as that, is taking all the outcomes and figuring out a way to make them a game. So learners now need different skills, and part of that is open-ended learning, where as a teacher, I'm there to guide their learning, but not to say, this worksheet is what we're doing today, because it's very limiting for them. They need to explore and play and test out things and negotiate with each other. So technology I use all through all my outcomes. The motivator, but it can also help children extend their learning. I've just started using a lot of green screen work. So one of the outcomes is to build an object using 3-dimensional shapes. And so I had them build an object, and then the grade 6s came down and helped them take a picture of it on a green screen and then add a background. So some of the kids made castles, and then they put the background in Scotland, or they made an eel in the water and it was being chased by a dinosaur skeleton. I also got a Zamboni on an ice rink. So taking that type of learning and extending it. We use bee-bots for coding. They set up the mazes with different animals and try to get the bee-bot to go meet the animal. That's one of the learning zones we're doing today. Yeah, so technology can be used throughout.
The best part about school is learning. Learning zones. You can play out loud. You get to take out all sorts of toys. Like reading books, and playing nicely, and sitting quietly at lunchtime.
Oh, it makes me very proud as a teacher. I like to see, those moments, especially children who are struggling or, reluctant to come to school, and then you can see that they start to really enjoy it and really have fun, and you build individual relationships with each of them. I make an effort at the beginning of the year to take them outside and play a lot, because a lot of the times the kids who are shy will open up through play. And I sit down and I'll play Play-Doh with them and talk and figure out what they're interested in, and then I can incorporate those interests into my teaching and into their learning.
9:15.
Yeah, that's right. Good job. High five. That was good.